let's get this CRC cleaning underway. So I'm doing my intake valves today. Very first step, buy the CRC intake cleaner, obviously. Second step, start your car, warm it up. I'm about to drive around the block, bring it back to my garage spot, and park it and take care of this treatment. All right, let's go. So the first thing is start the engine, meet operating temperature. I showed you we did that. Remove air filter cover and locate the MAF sensor. So the MAF sensor on my car is here. I hope you can see that. So it's connected to the box. Locate the MAF sensor between the air box and throttle body. Engaged and lift the straw. So we did that. Insert past the MAF sensor. So we're going to put it through here, so we're good. To avoid throwing a code, and do not spray product in front of the MAF sensor. You may need to disassemble the entire airbox or intake to administer past that. With engine running at 2000 RPM, spray product into the intake behind the MAF sensor. So they mentioned the MAF sensor like 5 times, so like they do not want you getting this product on that. So it's pretty clear. And even the guy at the auto parts store where I bought this, like, made sure that I knew that. So I mean, worst case scenario is I guess you would like throw a code and have to buy a new sensor, but we're not going to do that today. So you spray this at 2000 RPMs in 30-second intervals until the can is empty. If necessary, accelerate to avoid engine stalling during spray period. Do not exceed 3500 RPM. Take care not to burn arm or hand on the hot engine, so don't touch the engine while this is going on. Let's see here. Once can is empty, accelerate the engine 2 to 3 times without exceeding 3500 RPMs. Run at idle for 1 minute, then turn engine off. Reassemble air intake system and let the engine heat soak for 1 hour, and then restart the engine and drive at highway speeds for at least 10 minutes. Alright, let's get started. I'm very nervous, by the way. So it looks like the engine just keeps stalling and I can't even get over here in time. I think I have to accelerate the engine, or maybe I don't think this would have anything to do with it. Alright, so I've reinstalled the air intake box and I've slid the straw into this hose while it's connected so that the air going through will still be red and the engine won't stall. And this can is designed to be able to be sprayed upside down, sideways, all directions. So alright, let's give this another go. Alright, so we're all done. Now I'm going to reassemble this. I had this in there because I actually used this to like wedge onto the pedal. It was the only way I could get it to like consistently stay at a certain RPMs. So I just kind of wedged it against the pedal. So let me start my timer for 1 hour and then I'll go for a little highway drive. Alright, so as you could see while I was doing that, as I sprayed, the engine kind of like the RPMs went down a little bit, so I would let my finger off the trigger, let it come back up, and then I would just kind of pulse that. If I held it down too long, it seemed like the engine was going to stall, and I didn't want to have to stop and restart the procedure because, I don't know, I felt like that would mess it up. So yeah, that can lasted a long time. I feel like there's still a little bit left in it. It says to use the whole can. I figured, you know, I'm doing this now, let's get through all of it. So the engine didn't explode, and I kept going back and forth to look in my window just to make sure that the RPMs were at 2,000 because it wasn't like a person in there doing it for me. I just had it wedged. Plus, I wanted to make sure that the engine light didn't come on, that it was like overheating. But my fans did turn on, so it got up there in temperature, which obviously it would. It does sometimes if you're just sitting in traffic in the middle of summer. So having 2,000 RPMs for a solid, I'd say that took about 15 minutes. You know, it did. But I don't think it got into like any kind of dangerous territory because it's not like I'm doing a burnout at 6,000 RPMs. So, all right, now we wait. Oh, one more thing. I chose to do this today because, well, I'm off from work, and I'm off from work the next few days, so if something happened, I'd have time to fix it. And also because I'm going to go on a little hour trip over to a different part of the state here, and I can get some nice highway miles in, so I'm just going to, it says at least 10 minutes, so I'm just going to start my drive for that right then. And I will record my MPGs, so I'll fill up and then I'll figure out, it's not going to be something drastic, but I can see if it feels like the acceleration's a little bit better. My car doesn't even have 20,000 miles on it, so they actually wrote on the can, which, you know, you can take with a grain of salt because they're trying to sell a product, but it says recommended every 10,000 miles, so, you know, I'm approaching 20,000, so I'll just do this again at 30,000 miles if I feel like it worked, or even if it doesn't feel like it did. It's tested to eliminate carbon on your intake valves, so yeah, just recommended maintenance for your GDI engines. Mikey, I just used CRC intake valve cleaner on my car. What do you think of that? Treats? Oh, you like it? Or were you saying that because I said treats? Mikey, the intake valves are clean now because of the treats. Oh my god, how far are you going to go? Alright, here's my first startup since I did the treatment. Seems to be running very smooth. No hiccups. I'm backing out of my garage. Alright, so I'm about 5 minutes into my drive. I got on the highway, I accelerated to merge on, and like, I didn't notice my RPMs, but I wasn't going that fast. The engine started just like bogging down, and it was like hesitating. So I stopped accelerating. I tried accelerating a little more, and it did it again. So I didn't accelerate any further. I just set it on cruise control at around 60 miles an hour, and then now I've just been cruising. Everything seems pretty smooth. So I'm just a little bit nervous from that. And I heard like a rattling noise, almost like a heat shield was like hitting against metal or something, just kind of like a banging, which terrified me a little. So yeah, I have a couple minutes to go of my highway cruising, and then this process is supposed to be done. So yeah, we'll see if it's done. Okay, even after driving for over 30 minutes now, it's probably 45 minutes, the car is still acting really weird over 4,000 RPMs. It just like doesn't want to accelerate past that. My gas mileage is awesome. I can honestly tell that it's like higher than it was before. Like I'm at 40.4 overall, and I did like half highway, and then I've been in stop and go a bit. in my idling, I noticed my idling, like it seems like my car is like not even turned on right now. So I'm not sure if if I disconnected the negative on the battery, if it reset the system, or if having the RPMs 2000 like that for an extended period of time like screwed up the acceleration. I don't know. I don't know if any of that even makes sense, but I'm just trying to figure out what would cause this to happen. Like, why would the car run so smooth and then it just craps out over 4,000 RPMs? Alright guys, so it's about a week later, and here's what's been going on. The CRC intake deal, I had to take it in, have it looked at. They used one of their little scan tools, and it said it was an all-cylinder misfire. So that was a little scary. So it was going into the weekend. They didn't even have any openings to have my car looked at, but they did me a favor and looked at it because of the severity, and I didn't have anything to drive. So they needed to keep the car. So the next day they gave me a call, and they told me that they weren't able to recreate the problem. So I was like, in my head I'm like, that's a good thing. And the day after that, they wanted to keep it one more day to look at it, and same thing, couldn't recreate it. I asked them if they drove it really hard. It was kind of an obvious thing that they would be doing, but I wanted to confirm that. They said they were, and it was driving good. So I got the car back, and all has been good since then. It's driving normal again. And today I just cleaned off the airflow sensor with some cleaner that I bought at the auto store, and things are good. So yeah, my gas mileage has definitely gotten a little bit better, and other than that I don't notice anything else from this. But if it cleaned off the valves, then more power to it. If not, well, you never really know. So like I said, recommended every 10,000 miles. So we'll see if I do this in the future. If I do, I'll definitely look at different ways of doing it, and maybe just getting the airflow sensor completely out of there, because I have a feeling it got on it after all the stuff I did to try to get it to not do that. There must have been turbulence inside the intake pipe there. Other than that, I don't know what could have happened, because I followed it to a T, and I have not found one negative review on this product online. So it had to be me, something I did. So, but I avoided something catastrophic. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like what you see. I definitely have more content coming. I have some stuff recorded, just have to do some editing. And give it a like if you thought this was a good video. Thanks guys, see ya.